Yo, welcome back. Episode 15 of the Splat Sports Podcast. We made it. I like how I say that every episode because I don't know. G-Russ is back. He's all healthy. I mean, he wasn't sick. He was just at the beach.
He's well rested. He's ready to go, rejuvenated.
Very
Yep.
well rested. New haircut. I mean, looking snazzy. Prom season. That's what the streets are saying for G-Russ, and good for him. Oh, look at that little smirk. He knows what's up. G-Russ, my dog. Anyway, we're all back. Barrett's here. I'm of course here. And yep, I guess we're gonna jump into it.
All right, let's go.
NFL draft is almost here. It's what we like. It's probably one of my favorite seasons, draft season. A lot of things could happen this draft season, but I saw this thing through my daily scroll through Twitter. Is Bo Nix a top 5 quarterback heading into this draft? G-Russ, I'm going to throw it to you since you haven't been here. Is Bo Nix top 5 heading into this draft?
No, I don't think so. I do think a lot of this draft does have a lot of talent at the QB position. It's not him. I mean, he's obviously a very solid quarterback, but I just don't see him as a top 5 option at quarterback in this draft.
Barrett?
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with G. Russ. Obviously, he's gonna be behind the big three of Williams, Daniels, and May, and then I think he's also behind J.J. McCarthy as well. J.J. McCarthy is projected to go pretty high in these mock drafts, and then it's kind of, in my opinion, it's a toss up between him and Penix. I'll give the upper hand to Penix because he beat Bo Nix. So simple as that. Penix went to the national championship. I think they're both really good quarterbacks. I mean, this like Grant said, this is a very heavily talented quarterback draft in my opinion. So I mean, I don't think you can go wrong with drafting Bo Nix at all. But I would give this slight upper hand to Michael Penix.
Well, there you go. Quarterback's going to be a hot commodity, especially with the first 3 picks. That's including Barrett's Washington Commanders, who looks like they were going to take Daniels. Now Daniels wants to go to New England, I saw recently. So now let's say Daniels goes to New England. Of course, Williams is going first. It's pretty common knowledge there so far. What do the Commanders do here, Barrett?
Well, I mean, if Daniels for some reason, I mean, I know he says he wants to play in New England, but I think that we're still going to take him either way. But let's say we don't take him. I think we'll just go with Drake May then. I mean, I think Drake May is a good quarterback, but I think we'll take him. But I don't know how I feel about that because I mean, I feel like we kind of just had Drake May with Sam Howell, both UNC quarterbacks. So, I mean, I think if I had to bet, it would be Drake May. So.
I don't get the appeal with Drake May. I'm not a Drake May guy. I would like Bo Nix and Michael Penix better. J.J. McCarthy is my lowest rated quarterback. We'll get into that coming weeks, sure. G-Russ, your Saints didn't do a whole lot in free agency. Did make some moves towards the end. Made some surprising pickups, but now you have Dennis Allen. It looks like it might be his last year if he doesn't perform. Your team's heading into the draft. What are they doing here, G-Russ?
I don't really know. I've looked at multiple mock drafts, and they have them doing different things. Some have them drafting defense, some offense, but I think that they should, go out and get a pure pocket passer. I think they should maybe draft Penix or even Bo Nix late if they fall to him. I think that, being behind Derek Carr and, maybe using him to, mentor a young quarterback would help them a lot.
Don't know if I want to Carr mentoring my quarterback, but here we are. And as for the Falcons, I think we're going to go defense. Probably Dallas Turner. I think that's probably the best bet that we have heading into the draft. And I like where the Falcons sit so far in the draft. What's our next topic here? Oh, my next favorite sport, the Major League Baseball. I almost said the National Baseball League. That's in Saudi Arabia. The Yankees, they won a double series today. Juan Soto went deep. I started spreading the news as soon as I heard. Barrett's Dodgers, they're winning. I'm sure we'll talk about Shohei in a second, but the Braves don't have a pitcher. Spencer Strider out for the year. UCL injury. G-Russ, would you donate your UCL right now to Spencer Strider?
I absolutely would in a heartbeat. It's just sad because, he is a great pitcher. Good news is, though, he did avoid Tommy John, some other surgery. So hopefully he could be back by the start of next season, whereas close to October next season. But when you think about it, though, the Braves, they've been without a star before, and they won a World Series a few years ago, and when they lost to Acuna when he tore his ACL. But we do have some pretty good pitchers in the minors. Bryce Elder's still down there. I think he led MLB in ERA until the All-Star break. They also have their first-round pick last year, and Hurston Waldrop out of Florida. He's looked pretty good in spring training. And so, yeah, I think we're in a good spot, Ronaldo Lopez from the White Sox, we traded for him. He's only allowed 1 run in 13 innings started. So I think we're honestly not as bad as some people think. So on that side, but hopefully it works out well. There you go.
I got a little question for you. So what's the deal with Max Fried? He's had this. I know he's been injured a little bit last year, but he was, in my opinion, one of the top pitchers in the league, and then all of a sudden this year he's looking like hot trash. And my Dodgers were supposed to sign him, but now I don't think I want him to come out to the ravine. So,
well, yesterday he went 6 innings, one run. So
looking a little better.
Yeah, he started bad last year when he did come back. So I think it's mainly just injuries. It's also his money year. And so. Wouldn't mind if he didn't do that great, so we could sign for less money because that's what we do down here in the A, unlike y'all. So hopefully that works out for us. The A?
Yep, it is. As for Barrett's Dodgers, is Shohei going to be playing in the MLB soon? Yeah, he's the face of the MLB. He bet on the games. We all know he did. Brothers guilty, as they say in these streets. A lot of people were guilty. A lot of guilty people were mentioned this week. I'm sure we'll get to another guilty guy here in a minute. But Shohei's going to be playing in the MLB for a long time, even though that he did gamble, which makes me very upset. I do not like that. But his translator did just get out on $25,000 bond. Barrett, if at all possible, I don't think that Shohei is going to get in trouble. But do you think Shohei has any chance of getting in trouble?
No, he's the face of the MLB. Like, let's face it here. Like, and it's not even that. Like, he's the face of the MLB, but like, you got to think. You know how many fans he's drawing to watch MLB games over in Japan? Like, he's their guy. Like, you get rid of him, you're losing out on so much money revenue from over there in Japan because they want to watch Shohei. I mean, I don't blame him. I want to watch Shohei too, and I live in freaking East Tennessee. Like, he's just the face of the MLB. He's incredible. I mean, so it's just not worth it for the MLB to lose out on all this money off of suspending Shohei, even though he probably is guilty. Let's be honest here, but I just don't. It's not a smart move financially for the MLB, so they're just gonna sweep it under the carpet, and it never happened.
Yeah, sadly, I think that is what's going to happen. He did just break Hideki Matsui's record for Japanese-born players' home run hitting record. I don't know. I butchered saying it.
He tied it.
I think he tied it.
Yeah.
He'll break it by next week, which breaks my heart. But the Yankees, I love the Yankees. I truly do. They're winning. They're looking good. The injury bug has not bit us yet, knock on wood. Garrett Cole is the only one, and if he is the only one right now, oh my gosh, it would warm my heart. John Birdie is on the IL, though. Huge loss for us. But I love the Yankees. I think I'm making that very clear. My only concern right now with the Yankees is we don't have a fifth spot for a pitcher. Lewis Gill looked horrible. It really made me upset. We still got to win that game, but he didn't look good in how he pitched. Another big concern is bullpen. Clay Holmes, He's shutting people down, but he's going to give up 3 hits before he does it, and that's always scary to think about. I like where the Yankees are at. I think the Yankees are going to win the World Series. They're 12-3, swept the Guardians. That's 5 series wins in a row. But a team that I'm sure we all are happy that are down in the dumps right now is the Houston Astros. They are one of the worst teams in the MLB right now. I think their winning percentage is 200, and they're tied with the Colorado Rockies right now. If you look at the payrolls between the two teams, it's drastically different. Jiros, how do the Astros fix their problems right now?
They're a postseason team. They struggled last year at the start pretty drastically. It took them a little while, to clear 500, get past because they were around it for a little while. But it's a veteran group; they'll come together. So I don't see any problems with them. They'll improve.
Well, there you go. White Sox are the worst team in the MLB, along with the Marlins. I think the Marlins have 2 wins. The White Sox have maybe 3.
3. Marlins beat the Braves today.
All right. There you go. And that's going to conclude our MLB talk, I guess.
Yep.
I think next is NBA. Yes, I was right. The National Basketball Association. The season finals are coming up very soon. I'm pretty sure they're, tomorrow and Monday, maybe?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yep. Playoffs starting soon. The Celtics, they're the 1 seed. Eastern Conference, it's getting hot. There's a battle for the 2 seed right now. There's really a battle for all the rest of the seeds in the Eastern Conference. The Western Conference is kind of decided, I guess you could say, right now. I'm not involved with the Western Conference because both my team is not in the Western Conference. Both Barrett and G. Russ's team are in the West Conference. Grant's team, the Grizzlies, they aren't going to make it. So you know who he's going to be cheering for. His Lakers in the play-in tournament with Bon down there. And the Barrett's Warriors are also most likely going to be in the play-in, I believe. Is that right?
I think 8 seed, 9 seed.
And look at me sitting at the top of the throne, 1-seeded Celtics, best
Just
record
to get
in
knocked
the NBA.
out by the Heat.
How many championships y'all have?
18, buddy.
Lakers have 1 more. Or tied them, excuse me.
Yeah, the Lakers are tied.
But
so a lot of, I think we saw over the past couple of weeks, we saw the eclipse this week, and with the eclipse, we saw Victor Wembanyama's first shoe come out. They're ugly. They are the ugliest pair of shoes I think I've ever laid my eyes on. AI was used to design them, and Nike's kind of leaning into Wembanyama being a alien. Find that a little weird. I mean, dude's a fantastic athlete. Dude's probably going to be the face of the NBA very soon. But giving him a shoe that looks like a high heel on stilts to a player that's already what? How tall is he? 7 what?
4.
7'4", and you give him a high heel basically looking shoe.
Those shoes are just prototypes. And number one, they're not basketball shoes, is what I learned today. I thought they were as well, but they're not. They're not basketball shoes. And then 2 is they probably won't even come out. So there's that for it.
So Nike gives them this massive promo, and they're going to give them a freaking high heel lifestyle shoe. Nike's kind of fumbling the bag right now.
Nike's leaning into the lifestyle a little bit. If you look at the Devin Booker shoe, it's supposed to be like a 2-in-1, so to say, on court, off court. So Nike's trying to expand out a little bit, I think.
I do like the Devin. I do like the books. I almost bought a pair the other day. They're a little expensive. But I think Nike's trying to find their next Jordan type of shoe that can be used as a lifestyle, like the Nike Dunks. We see that drop from the Jordan idea there. Jordans are also very popular streetwear, so I see where Nike's trying to go with that. But I feel like they're kind of fumbling the bag with Wembanyama. Wembanyama is also done for the season. They kind of shut him down. We saw that he won't play for the Spurs in their season finale. The Spurs looking like they're going to have the first seed. First overall pick. Could be good for San Antonio. But Grant, what do the Spurs need to do right here? They have Wembanyama. They have kind of a young roster, but they stink.
Yeah. I don't really know. I don't pay that much attention to Spurs. This year's draft is not very good. It's probably one of the more weaker one we've had in a while. So I just think they need to go out get some veteran guards that can get Wembanyama the ball, and I think that's their best way to go.
There is Dalton Connect sitting there, my sweet prince. Barrett, your thoughts on the Spurs and Wembanyama?
Yeah, I agree with Grant. I think they need some better guard play. They've got Keldon Johnson, who's kind of like a 3-4 guy who's been pretty solid. Jeremy Sohan's pretty decent as well, but they're just kind of lacking a big guard. So I don't think this draft is the one to go at. I mean, obviously there's Robert Dillingham, who would be very very fun to watch with Wemby, but you're not going to take the number one pick on Rob Dillingham. I think my number one pick would be Alex Sarr from France, 7-1 center, but I mean, they don't need him. They got Wemby. So I think maybe look at trading this pick, either trading down in the draft or trading it for like a veteran established guard who can come in and kind of provide some good assets for this team because they're very lacking in the backcourt.
Saw a lot of people saying the Spurs should trade for Drew Holiday, but he signed a massive extension with the Celtics. I believe it was 4 years. It was either 4 or 6 years. I can't remember exactly. It's about $163 million. As a Celtics fan, I enjoy that, but it also scares me because Jason Tatum, we still got to pay him. We locked up Jaylen Brown. We locked up Drew. Now we have Tatum kind of sitting there. I don't think Tatum will leave in free agency if we don't lock him up. I think that we will. My big concern is, well, where are we going to put the rest of that money? We already invested in 2 guys. We're going to have to invest in a third. I'm kind of concerned what the Celtics are going to do there. But a trade with the first overall pick could be interesting, could be more. We'll get into NBA playoffs very soon. It's always an exciting time to watch the NBA, and I think our next topic is the Masters.
Yeah, we can go Masters.
All right. I don't think it was next, but we're gonna go Masters. Barrett's not our big golf guy, but we're gonna throw it to him first to see what his thoughts are of the Masters.
It's been pretty entertaining this year, I'd say. It's been nice to kind of watch throughout the day and sitting in class. It's been a little bit of relief from all the schoolwork that they assign us throughout the day. It's been. I mean, I kind of keep up with it. I guess I'm definitely not camped out in front of my TV all day and tomorrow, just itching at the nerve to see who wins the Masters. But it's fun to keep up with. So I guess Scotty Scheffler's in the tied for the lead right now. I'm pretty sure. So he's playing pretty good. DeChambeau was leading after the first 2 days. Kind of choked it, but had that really nice hole out. Saw on the old Twitter. So he's still in the mix.
Look at Barrett flexing the terms. I love the Masters. I think it's great. My guys did not have a great week. John Rahm, not a good. I thought round 1 he looked good. Front 9, back 9. John Rahm. I don't even know what happened. Ricky looked rough. I mean, it was just a bad week for my guys at the Masters. G-Russ, how did your guys do at the Masters?
My guys did all right. I'm a big Max Homa guy, so I'm happy he's succeeding. I also do enjoy watching Victor Hovland, the PGA Tour winner last year, but he struggled badly. Tiger, of course, he made the cut, 24, 26 straight, I believe, with the record,
Yep.
but he shot 82 today, 10 over, so he's probably out of contention. So, yeah.
Probably.
Hey, you never know. It's Tiger. It's the GOAT.
Did you watch him play today?
You never know. He won it 4 years ago.
Hey, I'll shave my head if Tiger wins the Masters. You heard it.
Bet. All right. But the Masters is always a good time. I think it's probably the best time for golf fans. It's when everybody's kind of watching it. Do we think Scotty can pull it out though? G-Russ, do you think this is Scotty's year?
Yeah. He's just the best player in the world. He has been for the past year or two. He had a bad start today. He got 2 over pretty quickly, but he did have that eagle that brought him back to tie. But I mean, he went, I forgot how many straight rounds without over par. It was something insane. And he's just in his prime right now, and he's the best player in the world. So I fully expect him to win it.
Best player in the world could be up for debate right there. But I saw a thing, as you know, Live Tour, PGA, a lot of PGA guys, a lot of Live guys in it. DeChambeau was a Live guy. Do we think that it's good for the Live guys to wear their like golf branded stuff during the Masters? Me personally, I enjoy Live golf. I think it's not a great look to wear your Crushers golf club gear at the Masters. I get that it brings a lot of attention to the Live brand, but I don't think it's the best look, especially for DeChambeau, guys like that, John Rahm. It didn't look very good on them. I wish they would have just worn their branded stuff. G-Russ, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I agree. I don't have a problem with Live Tour. I believe you should, set your family up for life, for a while. But wearing it is kind of weird, especially in the U.S. where it's PGA Tour heavy, not overseas where there's a lot more Live. So it's almost kind of just awkward, But overall, I don't have a problem with Live, but wearing their clothing is kind of weird, I think.
It's like the weird uncle at the dinner table. But speaking of Live, DeChambeau came out hot. Then, like every year, he comes out hot. He looks good in the first round, looks good in the second round, and then as the second round ends, he chokes. I feel bad for him, but I also am not the biggest DeChambeau fan. That hole out at 18 was rough today. I remember watching that live. You feel for the guy. But I have an interesting question. How do you think you would do at the Masters? Let's say we win a trip. We get to play a free round of golf at Augusta National. What do you think we're shooting? I'm going to shoot it over to Barrett first. Barrett, what do you think you're shooting here? We'll give over-unders here.
I would say like probably 100 over. I'm terrible at golf, so
Barrett, that'd be incredible.
100?
Let's go.
That'd be very good.
I don't know.
Tiger shot an 80 today.
What's par?
72.
72. Okay, and that's 18 holes, right?
Yep.
Yes. There's also par 3s and par 4s, so don't just calculate 72 divided by 4 or something.
I'm just trying to think. Like, I would say, I'm saying it's probably going to take me 9 to 10 swings per hole. So I would say we'll go 150 over. I don't know, like 200. I don't know, like
that's Hunter at the local golf course.
Okay, all right, buddy. I would say I would take the over on my probably like a 220 for me. Giros, what do you say for you?
I'd put mine at like 115.5, probably over, but I'm probably the best out of us three. Really not that close, but I mean, I think that's reasonable. If we're doing the thing about Masters is it's such a long course that it would probably take me 2 or 3 swings just to get on the green, like not like even like a chip, just like full long shots. So yeah, I'd put it, I don't know, maybe a little higher, but it's definitely over. It's not under or anything.
I think that we were very confident within ourselves, but on to our next topic. I don't know what a week we had. And now Barrett gets to talk about his passion. Barrett, take it away.
Hey, I'm just carrying off Hunter. Wow. That's what I got to say about this. So, this has been crazy. For those who don't know, I'll go back to the root cause of this. SMU, Southern Methodist University in Dallas, Texas, had a pretty mediocre season to say the least. So they kind of prematurely, in my opinion, fire former University of Tennessee assistant basketball coach Rob Lanier. And so then SMU needs a coach.
You're joining the ACC?
That's right. New conference, new coach. So USC's head coach, I'm blanking on his name though, G-Russ, you remember his name? It was like Andy.
No, not for sure.
Okay, USC's coach. He'd been there for a while, didn't really do anything. You know, they had Isaiah Collier, Bronny, DJ Rodman this year, very underachieving. He kind of sees the writing on the wall, in my opinion. So he takes the SMU job. USC needs a coach now, so they go get Eric Musselman, who had a very, very disappointing season this year at Arkansas. I mean, obviously, I think they would have kind of rebounded this next year, but the Must Bus head into SoCal. So now Arkansas needs a coach. And then, some big donors, John Tyson. I know everyone here eats Tyson chicken nuggets, Dino nuggets in their freezer. Hunter goes through 2 to 3 bags a week. So, yeah, they need a head coach. The Walmart family, the Waltons step up as well. They give lots of money, and they go get none other than John Calipari, who apparently wanted out of Lexington for a while now. Major move, major kind of like the shot heard around the world, in my opinion, for college basketball. Just wow. And so he leaves Lexington and heads over to Arkansas. And then, Kentucky fans, they're not phased. They kind of want to Cal out anyways. Kentucky, I know I was thinking, Dan Hurley, Scott Drew, Billy Donovan, Jay Wright. Strikeout. Next thing you know, they're 7th or 8th down the list. Well, Mark Pope from BYU, former Kentucky player, played there in the 90s, played there with Reed Shepherd's dad as well. Very passionate about Kentucky, to say the least. He loves Kentucky, so they offer him the job. He'd done a pretty decent job at BYU. So he's headed over to Lexington now, and their fans are pretty excited about him, I'd say. So, yeah.
Oh, it made my night. As I cried with Cody Rhodes winning the championship, I looked down and saw that Coach Calipari took the Arkansas job, and I said, "Oh my gosh, this can't get any better." And then two nights ago, I look first, and great guy on Vol Twitter, the orange punchy guy, I forget his name. It's something like that.
Yeah.
He makes these fake accounts, and so he poses the Kentucky men's Kentucky basketball team. Said that we've officially hired Mark Pope, and I said, "Oh, got me there." He usually gets me every time. And then Bleacher Report reported it, and I said, "Oh shoot, he got Bleacher Report, really?" Then Pete Thamel reported it, and I said, "Oh, okay, maybe Mark Pope might actually be taking the University of Kentucky job." And then I see a historic video of Mark Pope ripping his shirt open and doing the Cats chant in front of the BYU sign. It says BYU Cougars right behind him, and he's in his old Kentucky gear, doing the Cats chant. And then after that, I see the glorious video of him rapping to Hamilton. Absolutely electric hire by Kentucky. I love this hire because we're going to get 2 free wins off of him. I'm manifesting it now. The dude's kind of a dork. He's going to get chewed alive in Lexington. I feel bad for the Kentucky. No, I don't. I never feel bad for the Kentucky fans. You know what? I feel like Money Mac. He's making a return. Money Mac loves this hire by Kentucky. 2 free wins. Cal's going to go in there into Rupp Arena this year and absolutely smoke that Wildcat pack. G-Russ? I mean, I saw what you tweeted about it. I know you love this hire. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I absolutely love it. We're all 3 Tennessee fans here. We all despise Kentucky. I mean, if there's any team I would want to ever go 0-35 or whatever it'd be Kentucky. But honestly, I still think it's not a good hire. But the more I've looked at it, the more I've felt a little better for Kentucky in the sense that this might not be as everybody says, but it's still a bad hire. Everybody knows it. Just because he went to Kentucky, is he a good coach? Yes, he'll bring a more modern offense to him, but they're not gonna do anything crazy, I feel like.
Yeah, I agree with you, Grant. Kind of just going back, his offense was very prolific at BYU, but if you go back, the thing about Kentucky this year was offense their problem. No, it was not. They couldn't guard. Me and G. Russ would have had 20 points on Kentucky every single night because they would have just left us open. They let Jack Golke hit 10 threes on them. Like, that's the reason why. That's the reason why they were not good this year. If they played at least like average defense, they probably would have won the national championship. Honestly, like they were just that good at scoring the basketball. So it doesn't make sense that way. And then they fired Cal off of lack of tournament success. And what do they think? Dan Hurley, 2-time national championship. He didn't want to go. Scott Drew. Oh, he won one in 2015. Great Baylor team. Well, Scott Drew wants to stay in Waco. Billy Donovan, he can't leave because the Bulls season is still going on currently, and Kentucky can't wait that long to have a coach. So
He's
they go
committed to Chicago.
down the list. Mark Pope. Okay, yeah, it's great. Former Kentucky guy. Well, little do you know, Mark Pope has never won an NCAA tournament game in his life. So there's that for you. Take it for what it's worth. I don't get that. It's very confusing to me because they were mad about lack of tournament success. But I hope the guy doesn't do terrible there. I think the fan base, they seem to be excited about it. I don't know. I think in my opinion, it's maybe more of a, well, we know this is not a good hire. Like the 5 stages of grief. Yeah, they're kind of in the acceptance stage right now. Just trying to tell them it's a good hire right now. So I don't know. We'll see how it plays out. I don't think he'll be like terrible, but I think the days of Kentucky basketball, putting all these people in the league and be consistently ranked in the top 15 are behind them now. So best of luck to Mark Pope. I hope he loses to Tennessee every time he plays them. But other than that, I hope he's a pretty successful coach because he really cares about the university, unlike Cal did, I think. He really, I mean, his players are going to care about it. Cal's didn't. I mean, all their players are like reposting him doing the cat stance and like, what the heck is this? But I don't think that would be the case with Mark Spoke's players. I think he'll really care about the university's success and not more about getting his players to the league. So interesting hire by Kentucky.
Yeah, I saw on Twitter this Kentucky fan really wrote his heart out into this Twitter post. It was poetry in motion, as they say. He was talking about how Mark Pope should bring a sense of excitement to Kentucky fans as he's going to put his blood on the line and that he would be the only guy caring that if Cal came into Rupp Arena and won, that Mark Pope would be the man on center court crying. Now, if I ever saw that Mark Pope on the center of the UK logo in Rupp Arena crying, I would, oh my gosh, it would be awesome. I do hope the guy succeeds. I think that he has a good heart. I think that he cares, like Barrett said. I feel like Kentucky's kind of struggling right now to find itself. I also saw another guy on Twitter said that his heart was broke that he heard that Kentucky's no longer a blue blood in college football. I mean, college basketball. Do I think that's true? Kinda. You look at Duke, you look at UNC, you look at UConn. They're a blue blood, I guess. UCLA, they're kind of falling off the map like Kentucky is. But you look at those teams, they're like 3 steps ahead from Kentucky. And how Kentucky haven't won a tournament game since what?
Like 2019.
2019.
Well, no.
No, they lost to St. Peter's in the second round. So
yeah, they won one last tournament because they beat Providence.
Yes, and they lost to Kansas State. But still, only 2 wins since 2019. Of course, you didn't have the tournament year in 2020, but you were the 2 seed. You lost to St. Peter's. No, you were what?
They were a 2 seed.
They were a 2 seed. What were they this year? A 3 seed? 4 seed?
3.
3 seed. You're a high seed. You're playing against teams, St. Peter's and Oakland, teams that, while they were good, yes, they did have players. They went on to make a run, I guess. They shouldn't beat you if you're a blue blood. And I'm sorry to say that. I'm sorry to break Kentucky's fans' hearts even more. You're not a blue blood anymore. I think it's pretty safe to say that. Your all's thoughts on that?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, to an extent, I think the blue blood like narrative about Duke UNC, UCLA, Kentucky, Villanova, I think is considered one by most people. You look at them this year, and really UNC is by far the best one, and they had a very very good year this year. But other than that, I mean, Duke was solid this year, but I mean, tournament success wise, none of them really. I mean, Villanova and UCLA were atrocious this year. Kentucky was pretty good throughout the regular season. I mean, we know it happened in the tournament. But I think the era of the Blue Bloods is kind of, especially with NIL coming up and the transfer portal and all that, I think Blue Bloods are kind of dying off a little bit. And I think, teams like, I mean, UConn's considered a Blue Blood, but like, you see Tennessee coming in. Baylor's been very good throughout. I mean, just teams that Houston was very good this year. So, I mean, I just think it's a different era in college athletics all around, and you're getting away from the more traditionally elite schools just being good and good after, because it doesn't really matter if you have a great freshman recruiting class, because the reality is probably all of them, none of them are going to stay 4 years at the university. Half of them will probably leave after their first or second year in the program. So, yeah.
Well, there we go. Our next topic, it either is going to be – oh, shoot, my contact messed up. Oh, the college football spring games. I love college football. It's back. It was back today. The spring transfer portal starts on Tuesday, so you're going to see some movement. Tennessee spring game was awesome. I got to see Nico throw absolute dimes. We saw a lot of interesting things come out of spring games today. Ohio State, I mean, I know there's spring games, but Ohio State looked pretty good out of their spring game. Today I watched Bama. Jalen Milroe looked absolutely amazing. I think he's going to be a really good quarterback. I honestly do. I think that he has a good shot to win the Heisman. I think that he's going to go on a Jaden Daniels type run because he knows what the SEC is like. He's now comfortable. So I'm excited to see how he does in that. I'm also excited to see Texas look good today. Oklahoma looked all right today. Of course, they're joining the SEC soon. But I enjoy spring games. I think it gives us a good kind of starting point to where college football is going to begin. We still a lot of questions to be answered, though, I think, for a lot of teams, especially around the country. Like LSU, who's going to be kind of the leading quarterback in LSU or at LSU. We kind of see that take place today. See a lot of first-year head coaches, of course, Kellen DeBar at Alabama. So a lot of interesting stuff coming out of spring games today. Did any of you all watch any spring games besides the Tennessee game today?
No.
All right. About what I expected. So yeah. Just want to talk about college spring games, I guess.
You missed the most exciting one, though.
Oh, yeah, of course.
The Grove Bowl games, Lane Kiffin, holy crap. That was the most exciting spring I've ever seen in my life. I don't care. That was phenomenal. Lane Kiffin is an absolute genius. Fan interactions are through the roof right now in Ole Miss. I forget what freaking
All for them to not sell a home game.
Oxford, yeah, okay. Oxford.
All for them to not sell a home game.
Yeah, well, who cares? They played flag football on a 50-yard field, and they were throwing darts. Jackson Dart was throwing darts today. I'll tell you what, it was awesome. They had a freaking dunk contest. Brandon Turnage, former Tennessee defensive back, in the first round pulls out a freaking double clutch behind the back yam. Holy. And then they bring out the GOAT. The GOAT himself, Joey Chestnut, comes out. Hot dog eating
They played his music.
That's right, they did. And the blue team got in the lead because of Joey Chestnut. He put him on over the top. And then they had tug of war with the big boys, and they had sorority girls do a little tug of war as well. Yeah, Lane Kiffin knows what's up.
How could I forget that? How could I forget it? It was awesome. I think that you know what? Let's scrap college football. Let's just have that every Saturday.
Hey, I agree.
For different schools. Think about that.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. That's what the NFL Pro Bowl needs to be.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I would love to see this what's his face? Devontae Smith from the Eagles. I'd love to see him in a dunk contest versus like DK Metcalf or something like that. That would be insane. Like, come on now, NFL Pro Bowl needs to adapt some of that. I think they kind of turn with the flag football. That's somewhat fun, but I think they just need to start doing some different stuff and make it more fun, and not
There
spread
we
it out as much either.
there we go. Well, on to is this our final topic?
It is.
Oh. The juice is no longer loose. The juice ran out this week. Juice ran out this week.
Cup is no longer full.
O.J. Simpson died on I think Thursday of this week.
Yeah, he passed away due to
Yeah.
cancer Thursday. So
Thursday.
age 76.
It finally got him on his deathbed. He made his family sign non-disclosure agreements, but he was not guilty. He was acquitted. I always, that's my plan on my deathbed to make my family sign NDAs as well.
About what?
Anyway, O.J. Simpson, legendary NFL running back. He was a legendary NFL running back. If we just end that there, not including the lawsuit trial. He had a lot of lawsuits there. My favorite. I think that we can end the show today with my favorite OJ quote, being that I will no longer go to the state of California because I'm afraid I'm going to run into the killer there. I think that's going to wrap up episode 15. Sorry that we had to end on a somewhat somber note. No, we do not support OJ at all. I think that we were kind of glad that the juice is no longer loose. I think that is safe to say here at the Splat Sports. I think that's going to wrap up episode 15, the Splat Sports podcast. Juras, you got any final thoughts here?
Nope, don't got anything.
All right, Barrett.
No, it's a great week in sports. Looking forward to next week.
Yep, Masters Championship or final round tomorrow. We're gonna get a new green jacket. NBA playoffs next week. What more could you ask for? We'll see you next week, episode 16, and a new show soon. I know we teased it last week, but it's getting close. We're starting to cook. Starting to cook there. We'll see you next week. Adios. Jesus loves you.